I was a young lad, no taller than a cyrodiilic mud crab. My father had taken us hunting across the border into High Rock. They came upon our tent just as we were bedding down, like an annoyed hawker to a nuisancing slaughterfish. Bandits. They snatched my mother up as if she were a doll. She didn't even have a chance to scream. Dad shoved an arrow into one of them. There were too many. "The eye of an orphan," they chanted, and laughed. My father was beaten, his skin shredded, my mother taken and presumably dead, and I lost all sight in my left eye. If my father hadn't shoved that arrow into the one who clawed me, I would have lost my life as well. They vanished as quickly as they had come. We limped north till our muscles burned. Somehow we had made it to the ocean. The first sign of life since the bandits was a ship captain. His name was Brinehammer. His crew helped me get my father on board just as he was pulling anchor. A priestess of Kinnereth greeted us below deck and tended to my father's wounds. We sailed to a village named Dawnstar. I remember little else from the trip other than the crew above deck singing, "2 weeks at sea in Dawnstar we will be." We docked in Dawnstar exactly 2 weeks after boarding. My father died 3 days later. The Jarl had his guards put me in a carriage and escort me to Honor Hall Orphanage in Riften. This nag Greylaw was horrible.
That's all you Riften people are.
Thank the divines had Mistress Vija put her in her place. Vija brought the other children and myself into the woods on occasion to play and learn about the vegetation. I loved gardening and reading once I learned how to. Vija also taught me magic. I carried the weight of my father's death so heavily that maybe she had felt that if I learned some basics from the School of Restoration, maybe I'd find a bit of peace from it. She also introduced me to destruction magic. She said that the wilds were harsh even beyond my own experiences and that flame should only be used to protect myself and to bring warmth to a bitter night. I listened, for the most part. I did like setting my foster brother's shoes on fire from time to time.
Leave me alone!
As I got older, I learned to hunt for the orphanage just soon enough for Vija to see. After contracting brain rot, she passed away. I was 17. Greylaw the Kind, kind my ass, took over. She made me hunt as a chore, feeding only her and allowing me the scraps of her plate. Luckily, I only suffered a few months of her kindness. Of age, I left the orphanage and worked the local mine for about a year. It was cold and brutal, but it paid and it taught me that a life of slaving to feed another's mouth was not for me. So I lived in the wilds for a bit. I hunted, gardened, traded game with travelers for books. It was a peaceful and a humbling few years, but I could never get my father out of my mind. It's funny how after all of those years of nightmares, I still can't recall the features of my father's face, other than remember the 2 holes in his neck and markings carved into his chest that I would learn were the symbols of Clavicus Vile. Vampires. I can hear seagulls. We must be close. 2 weeks to ride the sea in Dawnstar I will be. I wish I had my bow and my cloak. A sea of ghosts is a cold place to journey.